Hey everybody, Roger here. We gotta talk about this new awesome footage, so far 2 parts, that Project Veritas, James O'Keefe and his awesome team of undercover agents, I call them agents, have done regarding Twitter. Their shadow banning, their censorship, and their willingness to just hand over all of Donald Trump's information to the DOJ. There was one of the programmers, software developers, I think, actually, and his last name was Pierre. He was talking about he basically says something that kind of caught my ear when he said the way that their algorithm works at this point, the way they keep reinventing it is currently, it's in the future, what they're planning on doing is basically banning a way of talking. Basically banning they're going to ban certain keywords, they're going to ban certain types of things you can say, a combination of subjects, etc., is what I would assume, thinking along the lines of a programmer. And eventually, the platform would only be used to go on there to spew, a certain side of items and basically ban a certain, he said it perfectly, ban a certain way of discussion. No ingenuity, maybe one-sided ingenuity, so you're forced to think, talk, and interact a certain way going forward. Yeah, don't tell me that's not 1984. Orwellian was actually brought up in the video as well, so in one of the 2 videos. So, anyways, you kind of have to look at how you're investing your time in Twitter. I do go on Twitter. I do tweet a lot, and I'm not going to say I think I've been a part of being censored or whatnot, but who knows? I don't know. I really don't check. I do have interaction and whatnot, even with people who don't think like me. So it is what it is at this point. Okay, so there was one person in here who, his name was Clay Haynes. I think it's Haynes or Hayes. Anyways, Clay apparently had 2 dates. First date was with the first woman who was undercover with him, and the second one I believe was with the woman and James O'Keefe undercover as well. He was he wore a wig and all, wore a wig and everything. So, anyways, in this one, in these couple of videos that they posted, he has info about. He was basically saying, "Oh, we have info about where you've logged in, your locations, the pictures that you posted, and what you thought you were going to post." Now, again, this goes back to me understanding things as a developer as well. I see that you can save information, and whether you think it's been uploaded or not, there are certain ways you can. I'm pretty sure Twitter has more ingenious ways of doing this than the average developer, but I mean it's not impossible, and he basically admitted, we the things that you think you're going to be posting, we know about it. That's a little bit scary. And this is why you have to kind of watch your tracks in advance of what you post, what you say, even before you type it. Go type it on Notepad or something. Make it, compose it before you actually go within the text box to start coding something, or to start typing out your conversation. That's a lot of the times that's what I do. And I'm not, again, my computer could be spying on me too. Who knows in this day and age? I think I'm a smart guy. I don't, what what video I'm gonna post right now, don't you?
My IQ is extremely high.
Anyways, I consider myself fairly intelligent.
I guess 140 is above average, whatever,
I'm average. I'm average competency, and I can. But it doesn't mean I know everything about computers or anything. I'm not going to pull a based mama and say I'm a genius or whatever. I'm probably way below her intelligence. I can only imagine the stresses that she goes through when she's thinking.
It is extremely frustrating.
Anyways, to me, it was very scary the way that he was actually. This is the part that really got to me in these conversations. All these people, and a lot of them seemed like they were H-1B visa recipients, you know, because a lot of them were foreign. I'm not sure about Mr. Haynes, but maybe he was. But anyways, you know, this is whole other issue entirely regarding H-1B visa and how, you know, Americans could be working these jobs instead. But I digress. The scariest thing that all these people did for me was it was scary how willing they were to share this information. Whether they were drunk, they were eating out, they were in restaurants, they shared this information with a casual stranger they probably just met. They probably just met, went out on a date, or whatever. I don't know. This is where privacy becomes an issue. You know, you have all these terms of service that you have to follow, and yet these people keep breaking them by discussing even minute topics to complete strangers like this, or whether they met on Tinder or whatever for this undercover investigation. I don't know. People should be concerned about how their employees are actually talking about this stuff. I know people like in the military that will just refuse to discuss things that happened, you know, while they were in service. I think that the same should apply here, but a lot of people, you know, I think I am guilty of it sometimes regarding my work. I won't say specifically what I do, but I mean, I don't break rules like crazy. I give generalizations. This wasn't generalization. These weren't generalizations. These people were telling you the tactics, things they do, and outright admitting it. So, this Mr. Haynes also claimed that he was a bleeding heart liberal. Now, obviously, there's a certain bias there. There was a lot of people here, the people who were auditors, the people that were who reviewed tweets and whatnot. They were basically saying, hey, you know, yeah, we're 99% anti-Trump here, and if there are a lot of people who get offended by these tweets, and they're the ones that are, you know, they're within Twitter, and they're the ones auditing these tweets, and they see it, and they're like, well, I don't like this tweet. Well, then it goes up to another person above them, and they'll say, well, if you don't like it, go ahead and let's remove it. And then they were asked, you know, who's it more biased towards? Is it more biased towards liberals or conservatives? You know, in more short, less of an answer here, conservative, obviously. And I think we all know this stuff, but to hear it from the horse's mouth, yeah, you know, it's not eye-opening. It's evident, and it is, you know, it's out there now. It's out there now. James O'Keefe, you and your team. I don't know who that woman was, but she did an amazing job too. Yo, kudos to her for sure. And they're going to try to automate all this stuff. They're going to try to automate flagging and banning people, shadow banning. I mean, to shadow ban. Again, I guess Reddit does it. I'm hardly ever on Reddit. You know, I can only handle so much digital outside of my daily work life, so I frequent only the basics, I think, for the most part, and some side channels. But here's the thing, you know, to automate something like this, that's dangerous. That is, we're now thinking that we can figure out the human mind enough to know that we want them to be catered and their thought process to be distorted into and configured into a certain way. Yeah, that's definitely 1984, guys. That's definitely Orwellian. So my whole thing on this is again, I'm still going to be using Twitter, but if you just so happen to see a gay, Hispanic, libertarian male who is not conversing on Twitter anymore, I've probably been banned. Peace out, guys.